Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you guys about the roller coaster ride that is stuttering. And it's not a roller coaster any of us want to be on. I know that. Um, so I was, I love when you guys post on the thread in the group and get everybody talking. And so I do really read everything, and I'm just feeling like I want to give you guys all a big virtual hug who are going through the downs and even finding it hard to enjoy the ups of stuttering. And what I tell parents, and it's just, not super comforting, but it just is that, stuttering is consistently inconsistent. It can be, kind of be here at full force, and then literally they can go to bed and it's done. They wake up the next day and they're just talking their little head off like they used to. And, vice versa, that they can experience some periods of really fluent speech, and then just they wake up and here it is, back again. Yay, not yay. And even, the variability in the types of stuttering and types of disfluencies. So they might be blocking and, having some prolongations, and one kind of upswing, and then, the next one it's some repetitions, and, it's not fun. I totally get that. And it can make us feel really anxious. And so I want to talk a little bit about the anxiety that comes with that and what I like to tell the families that I work with. So anxiety is a forward-facing emotion, right? It's feelings that come to us because we're worrying about the future, whereas depression is more of a past face, a backwards facing emotion, things that have happened in the past or things that have happened to lead to our current situation. So if we think of anxiety as future and forward and depression as backwards in the past, and then how do we stay in the now? And that's where we kind of can find our peace and move through things. Another thing about anxiety is it is really based in uncertainty, right? It's our for some people, our nature to just, go into that worry mode, right? The uncertainty, and how do we express control over something that feels out of control? And never has that been, more of a prevalent feeling with stuttering, and never has the answer been so not conducive to trying to exert control over your future. No one does, right? You can't solve a problem that hasn't happened yet, right? So I want you guys to kind of keep that in mind. Another thing about anxiety is that we're seeking information, right? The more we know, we think, the better we're going to feel. If I just knew that this was normal, or I just knew this was going to last only 5 days, then XYZ. But we can't ever know the answer to that. And even if we did, it doesn't work. So even if someone told you this is only going to last 5 days, and it lasts 5 days, does that really solve the heartache that you're feeling right then and there in the moment? It doesn't. But it's our human nature to want to do that, and it feels good. And so I like to have my parents channel that feeling of I need information, I need action, because it makes me feel better. Because yes, we can do something in these moments. We can observe the environment. We can see what is it that consistently turns up the volume on stuttering. I am contemplating doing a workshop about the things that can kind of turn up the volume, and explaining that demands and capacity model, and specifically to the highly sensitive child. So if you're interested, if that sounds good to you, just comment and we'll get that going. But what I want you to do is observe, that's your action plan. Get the information. What's going on? Sometimes it's internal. Is your child going through a language growth spurt, or some kind of emotionally are they seem out of whack? What is sometimes you just get that feeling I don't get it. You were just totally fine and happy, and now like everything is like a hard thing for you. It could be internal, right? And we can't really change that, but we can maybe observe that and kind of attend to that. Is it something, sometimes it's very obvious. They didn't get sleep. Their whole sleep routine has been flipped upside down, or they're sick, or they were on holiday or vacation, and sometimes it's very obvious, sometimes it's not so obvious, and sometimes it's a big question mark. And that does not help anxiety at all. No question marks. So the other piece of anxiety, so it's uncertainty. The other piece of that is underestimating your ability to cope. So I want you to kind of, next time you're feeling these emotions, and I want you to just remind yourself, hey, I can do hard things, right? So far, you have 100% survival rate of hard days. Everything you've ever been through your whole life, you have 100% survival rate. You've made it through. And remind yourself, I'm gonna make it through. And if this is not your first roller coaster, remind yourself, hey, we made it through. It wasn't this bad forever. And that's the now. That's like, what if we can do now? Right now, he is stuttering, and right now, remind yourself, okay, we've done this right now before, and we're gonna do it again. And so those two pieces, the need for information, yes, let's tend to that brain's need to like action plan and do, but also remind the brain, because that's the thing that does not work when you're really anxious, is that your brain forgets that you actually have coping skills. You've done hard things before. This is really hard, and you've done really hard things before. So in those days, do what you need to do to get by. It's like, can you, like right now, your child is stuttering so bad and so severe. Can you hug them? Yep, you can hug them. Do that right now. Can you do things that don't require a lot of talking? Yes. Do puzzles. Go for a bike ride. Do whatever it takes to just get you through the now, or pull yourself into the now, and that will get you into tomorrow. Okay. Sometimes these words fall short of, really comforting, because I just know from experience it's just really hard. It's really hard, but what goes up must come down. Okay. And in the meantime, we are focusing on the things that we can kind of control. Is we're building confidence, we're building resilience, we're building like strong talkers and communicators that have like something to tell the world, and nothing's gonna stop them. That's where I always put my focus to. Yep. Yes, they are stuttering on every word of every sentence today, but you know what I can do? I can still tell them, you are amazing. And I love the way that you think about things, and I love that you want to tell us those things, right? We just send that message. We can do that. Right now, we can do that. So I know this sounds like I don't know what it sounds like, but I just think a lot of people need to hear that. And if you're interested, I'm just, like I said, still contemplating this, but kind of really touching in on the highly sensitive child, and the astronomical number of kids who stutter are these highly sensitive children and have this trait. Kind of diving into that and why that turns up the volume. So if you picture a TV screen and a show is on, you can see it, but it's on mute. So it's always there, it's always happening, and there's certain things in our environment that can kind of dial that up. And sometimes, not always, there's things that we can do to remove those demands and dial it down. And sometimes we just don't know. But in this just don't know days, think, okay, here we are right now. And we've done here we are right now before, and we got through it. So what do we do then? And just a big hug to all of you guys, and let me know what you think.